Hello, my party people. Um, just a short video for today. I ain't really have too much to get off the chest, but I guess just in light of some more recent developments in this country, crazy ass country that we call America. So I think by now it's safe to say that Trump is actually overseeing the implementation of the ideologies that are listed inside of Project 2025. We're seeing mass federal layoffs. We're seeing a gut of federal department agencies. We're seeing the dismantlement of the Department of Education, the Aliens Enemies Act of 17, whatever the fuck. Um, we're starting to see a lot of the thought paths and things that Project 2025 wanted to do being implemented inside of this administration. For some, that may come off as a positive thing. For others, it is a bunch of what the fuck. But I'll pose this question primarily to Black America. Since we have been on this continent, since we were brought here, and if you're native, since you were invaded, we have fought tirelessly to try to get equal rights, representation, etc. And I think, at what point do we say enough is enough? Almost exactly 100 years ago, there was a great thinker and organizer by the name of Marcus Garvey that kind of coined and started the whole Pan-Africanist movement. Him, along with the rest of his constituents, managed to pull enough money together to try to build the Black Star Line, which would have oversaw the migration of Black Americans back to the African continent. So I guess my question is, why are we still here? Like, what are we fighting for? I think this country has shown us time and time again that it does not care to have equal representation or equal rights for everybody in the country. I think it has demonstrated numerous times that it does not prioritize the working class. Especially now with money in politics, where we have corporations that literally lobby against the working class, and those are the ones that our politicians are being beheld to. We like, I mean, the writing is on the wall. Like, I don't understand how much more suffering, how much more tolerance the Black America diaspora should have for a country that has done little to nothing for it. We built this country. This country would not be as wealthy as it is if it wasn't for the exploitation of free labor by the mechanisms of slavery. The South definitely wouldn't have had an economic boom during the colony session of America, and then the early births of America. The South had one of the largest economies on the planet. Why? Because it generated so much profit because of the free labor that they were getting. Up in the North, same thing, just different method of work. It wasn't farms and plantations, it was textile mills that Black people were subjugated to work in for little to no pay. The erasure and genocide of the native people that lived on this continent before the Eurasians came over to conquer and colonize it. they're worse off than the black community. And these things are done systemically on purpose to keep a certain populations subjected to discrimination and exploitation, because you can't have a capitalistic system without some form of exploitation. Nowadays you have people that are at the top that make the most money that does the least amount of labor. There's no reason to me why a stock trader should have way more economic freedoms than what a farmer does, a person that actually feeds the population. What a construction worker does, a person that actually builds the infrastructure for this country. Corporations are greedy and they don't give a fuck about you or me unless you are a shareholder. That's the only time that they really care about your input. They allow lobbying for different politicians to push certain agendas that benefit corporations. So once again, I ask Black America, why are we still here? What are we benefiting from? And if Marcus Garvey was successful in pushing his ideas to the rest of the Black diaspora, what would America look like today? What would America look like if it wasn't for the free labor and exploitation of the minorities that habitate this land or were brought here? What would America look like? And what would America look like today if all the black folks said, fuck it, got up and left? I think it's time to go. I think it's been time to go. And I don't see how this country is going to sustain itself. You have to think about it. Black America contributes $1.6 trillion to the GDP every year. 1.6 trillion. Blacks and minorities make up such a large workforce of the working class in America. Not too much of the actual ownership, but the working class. The people that actually, go get shit done, the people that actually work, the people that actually build shit, the actual working class. And I'm not saying that white people don't go out there and work either. That'd be very ignorant of me to say. But by far and large, since the minorities were discriminated against to where the government had to put in policies like DEI, that DEI wasn't made in a vacuum. It was made for a reason. Civil rights was not fought for in a vacuum. It was for a reason. And now we have an administration that is literally trying to roll back civil rights, the education system, all these different things. And I apologize if my lips are kind of ashy or whatever. I'm black, so yeah, it happens when you have a full set of lips. Nevertheless, yeah, but what do we stand to benefit from being here? I personally think that it's beyond time for us to gather all of our resources and leave this motherfucker and go build up another country that is willing to actually have us, or go back to the homeland. There's plenty of land in Africa. There's more African countries today that are accepting the Black diaspora than it was when Marcus Garvey was alive. We actually have policies put in place in certain African countries that incentivize black people to move back. We're starting to see more African countries try to become more self-sustaining to get rid of the European colloquial powers that are there. Like Burkina Faso. That's one country that I've been hearing a lot about. Niger, Mali. I want to say those are two more that are currently trying to completely X out the influence of European countries. I think it's high time that we all come together and do that, because America is been proven, and I'm only 29, and from what I've seen by studying history and just being black in America, I think it's beyond high time that we just, said we tried, we take our ball and go home. MLK said it himself, that he feared that he integrated us into a burning house, and this house is still burning and is split at its foundation. I don't think there's much left for us in this country. I think it's time to go. But y'all can tell me what y'all think down below in the comments. I ain't gonna say like, share, and subscribe. If you don't feel like it, you ain't gonna do it anyway. But if you do, I highly appreciate it. Till another time. Peace.